Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the fabulous Season 25 V8 Veterans brought to you by Racekraft Simulations. It's a split 2 action here this evening for round 3 of the season. I'm jumping a week ahead apparently. As we come in to Watkins Glen this evening, it is going to be a massive night of racing once again. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brett Fisher here this evening. Brett, we come into Watkins Glen in the state of New York, where it's high stakes and high rolling affair. 2 different winners in the first 2 rounds this season. And history's shown in Gen 3 that this is the championship making round of the season. Round 3. All 3 of our champions in Gen 3 cars from season 22, 23 and 24 won the round 3 race in their respective championship winning seasons. So, not to call the cart before the horse, Brett, but whoever wins tonight is going to win the championship at the end of the season.
Oh, you've called it, Hamish. It can't change now. It's going to happen.
Can't change. It cannot change at all. But, you know, what we're going to be able to see tonight, of course, is a fantastic racing circuit. 200 Ks, 37 laps of racing around here. And it is actually a racing circuit that is quite difficult. It's a difficult circuit in the supercar, running the full layout this time comparatively to the Cup circuit last time we were here. So we come in to race around the full boot with the Lamore chicane, also known as the bus stop. It's going to be a tough test. It's going to be a tough test for these drivers, and it's going to be one in which, you know, they would have had to use their week's worth of preparation. It is a track that they'd have plenty of laps around, whether they run officials and they run the 6 hours of the Glen, or they run supercars officials here. It is a mainstay of the officials. It is within nearly every single racing series each season, so it's one that they should have plenty of laps around across the journey here on iRacing. Looking at the current points as it stands, Alex Kiddis leads the championship into tonight's event, ahead of Matt Scholes by 8 points at the moment. Trent Allen in P3, Craig Friend, Bretton O'Brien, they're all on equal points. Trent Allen, Craig Friend, Bretton O'Brien, 2 of those are our race winners this season, Trent Allen and Bretton O'Brien. Craig Friend yet to take a win, but he's on equal points with them at the moment. Dan Crosby on 318 points in P6. Damien Fisher on 316 points. Shane Randall, Chad Varga separated by a point for P8 and P9, and then in P10, while Dave Arney and Simon Heddersheet are equal on 304 points. Ron Allen, Scott McKenzie equal on 296. And we've got Brett Horsell, Scott Weston, Mick Clifton on 278. Brett Taylor on 276. Tim Mulford on 275. Michael Jones on 273. They're all separated by 5 points in between them. Then we've got Michael Quain, makes up the top 20 in the championship at this stage as well. So it's a close championship race already. Drop rounds have not been counted, of course, because only 2 rounds into it.
Have a look how many drivers are on the same points. I mean, that goes to show you. Oh, after 2 rounds, we are already seeing excitement build in this series. Unbelievable. I am so pumped.
Yeah, I'm pumped as well, because this is already super, super close at the start of this season. You have a feeling it's going to remain close as well. Of course, 2 separate winners in the first 2 rounds. We could go 3 from 3. We saw it last season when we went, we went 7 from 7 in the first 7 rounds. Oh, sorry, no, it was 6 from 6 in the first 6 rounds. It was record-breaking last season. If we get to 7 this season, Brett, I may have to just hand in my card for statistics. I don't know, because that would be wild if we were to go 7 rounds in a row with a different race winner, but I digress.
It'd be crazy.
It'd be absolutely crazy. But as we come into tonight, let's have a quick look at our racing circuit here. Watkins Glen International, of course, I mentioned, known famously for the NASCAR Cup circuit for the last 20 years, as well as Indy cars driven here, and as well as the IMSA series and the Michelin Pilot Challenge on the weekend of the 6 hours of the Glen as well. It happened earlier this year, back in June, July time. As we come our way in, it's a former street circuit, now a permanent race course, similarly to Phillip Island, so it has the characteristics of both street course sections as well as permanent race course sections too. And as we have a good look at this place, of course, it was opened back in 1956. This particular layout's been used ever since 1992. So it's just surpassed its 30-year anniversary a few years ago. 5.5 Ks, 3.4 miles in the old language, 11 turns. It all starts in the main straight and the run down towards the 90 at turn 1, which is a tightening corner, a corner in which you can wide berth a little bit on the exit, but drivers are going to have to throw some caution to the wind down there if they hope to make a move, Brett. It's not going to be an easy pass for a move. They're going to have to earn it all throughout the piece.
It says the 90, but I beg to differ. I reckon that's past 90.
I think so. Maybe 95 degrees, possibly.
Something like that. They've got that wrong, I reckon. But it is you get a fair bit of speed up before you have to try and get the car turned right. You get a lot of camber towards the inside of the apex. But that doesn't sort of help out a lot. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty hot there tonight. We'll see what happens.
Well, as they run it through 1, you then want to try and hold it as wide as possible on the ripple strip to then get a good run up through turn 2 and then through the S's at 3 and 4 up the hill. We've seen a lot of chaos up here through the years. This could be a section the driver's going to have to be careful of. I've actually gotten the wrong track map tonight. I've got the classic boot, not the correct one, so I do apologise. The run up from 4, the run up from 4 then goes up to inner loop, which is the bus stop chicane, which you can see in red as on the alternate layout. But yeah, we'll be running through the bus stop this evening, not across the inner loop as we did last time.
Watch out for those new 3D curbs.
Yep, that is a big point actually. This is a brand new scan of Watkins Glen. It's updated with curbs, updated with some new patches of grass as well. It has got some different characteristics than we previously may have thought of throughout the seasons of racing here. Then it's the run down through outer loop and down towards chute at what I like to call the laces of the boot. And then it's the run up towards the toe and then down towards the heel at 8. The danger section in all of that obviously is the inner loop at the bus stop and the laces at turn 6. Those two sections are going to be tough. The heel's going to be tough as well, but you get to turn 9 on this track map in particular, Brett, and you catch the bump on the exit of the corner and all hell can break loose.
It's a tough corner. 90 is a really tough corner. There was a couple of sections that I actually had trouble just sort of dealing with, and that was 9 was one of them. It's really hard to sort of get the car on the right line, get at apex, and get back on the gas. And you see a lot of guys mucking it up just a little bit. I was one of those. Yeah. And then some guys just really nailing it too.
Well, we then run it up through turn 10. It does allow for a wide berth as well, just like turn 1, and then up through turn 11. The dangerous spot for me in that last sector is turn 11, Brett. The fact that the pit entry is right on the apex of the corner. We've often seen drivers light it up on the exit of 11 and actually then cut across the entry to pit lane, causing all sorts of dramas for those who may be coming into pit road. So that will be a section for us to keep an eye on here this evening, and that'll be a section for drivers to be careful of as well. As we head out, though, of the track info, we come into beautiful sunny conditions here in Watkins Glen, as drivers are out on track at the moment, just getting themselves prepared for what's to come here this evening. Brent O'Brien, of course, our round 1 winner out at Bathurst. I am losing all my marbles, Brett. I feel like I'm back in grade 3 and I'm just dropping them all.
You almost sound like me.
I know. Back at Phillip Island, just doing a practice start for himself here on the exit of pit lane to get himself worked up. He'll miss this week, unfortunately, due to work commitments at the island, ironically setting up for the Grand Prix. So we look forward to seeing him back in a few weeks' time. Trent Allen's currently in pit lane, our winner from last time out at Bathurst, in very dominant fashion, mind you. And then this guy, Craig Friend, equal on points with both of them, yet to take a race win this season, Brett. Could we call him the Mr. Consistent at this point? The fact that he has matched them for points, but he's yet to take a race win.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Consistency. If you can put the car right where you need to do consistently, and minimise your mistakes, minimise your errors, you're going to go well throughout the championship. And you do that all the way through the series, and you'll be laughing at the end of the day.
You will indeed. So we'll see, though, how they go towards racing conditions. 200 Ks, as we mentioned, 37 laps here this evening. 2 compulsory stops across the piece tonight. So drivers will have to traverse through pit lane. They have got 100% tank capacity to refill to. They are starting, though, with 70% of the fuel limit, so they're down at 50. They're starting at 50 litres. For the fuel limit start here tonight. It does open up the fuel strategy a little bit across the race. It does mean that drivers could do one stop and get home, but they will be disqualified if they don't do their second CPS. So it does open it up a little bit though. But it's roughly 110 litres that you need to get home, added to your 150 to your 50 litres at the start of the race. So roughly a 55 litre fill each stop will get you home, and you can balance that out pretty easily across the piece. Starting grid, though, for tonight's race will be as follows. Tim Mulford will start pole position for Phoenix Racing Team, ahead of the championship leader Alex Kiddis in P2. Simon Hedesheed, Steve Grumley on the second row of the grid. Jim Caparonis and Trent Allen then for our top 6. Dave Arney, Andrew Hoffman ahead of Damon Fisher and Matt Scholes for the top 10. Paul Burns, Mark Houghton for our top 12 as well. I do want to update, actually, Grumley was the one who was the corrected race winner at Phillip Island, if we recall, thanks to Brendan O'Brien getting a points penalty. So O'Brien was the winner on the day, but on the timesheets he was not. So that's just to correct myself on that little point. Bruce Tannock, Scott Weston are starting ahead of Mick Clifton, Simon Haynes, with Chris Blanchard and Craig Friend in behind them. Brendan O'Brien, Darren Crosby then make up the top 20 with Michael Jones and Stephen Clark starting ahead of Peter Latham and Rick Viger for the top 24. Brett Fisher, Ben Brooks starting ahead of Russell Uren and Jeremy Bush for the top 28 cars, of Brett Horsell and Todd Duggan for our top 30. Matt Stoyles, Matt Monday, a double Matt for the 16th row of the grid, starting ahead of Scott McKenzie and Derek Lovegrove, with Tony Chapman making his split 2 debut tonight ahead of Brett Taylor in P36 at the back of the field. Our race controllers here this evening, Todd Martin, Travis Azapoli, and Lucas Burt in the safety car as well. So massive thank you to those guys for getting involved once again. We await everyone to get gridded up here tonight, and we await to have the opportunity to see some fantastic action once again from the Glen.
33 cars, just over a second in the qualifying. How amazing is that? So if that's got anything to go with what we're going to see tonight, it should be some fantastic racing. Let's say the new word, racing tonight. And must also say happy Bathurst weekend to everybody. Hope your driver is doing well.
Well, mine didn't even make the shootout, so it's not a good weekend thus far.
Oh,
I
who
know.
do you go for?
Richie Stanaway and James Golding. I'm not a Premier fan. I'm a driver
I like
fan.
Davey Reynolds. I like Reynolds.
I don't mind Reynolds. But yeah,
I'm a bit of a character.
I'm not a team fan anymore. I'm a fan of drivers. Just so happens that both James Golding and Richie Stanaway drive for the same team. So yeah, it's just
very good.
Yeah, they were previously teammates as well back at GRM before they folded. So quite interesting how that all comes back around again.
Unbelievable all the stats. I can't believe it. Yeah.
I think that was like 2019 when that happened, something like that. Maybe 2020.
Your brain, Hamish.
There's our pole sitter, Tim Mulford, who will look to prepare. Could he win his first ever Vets race this evening at Watkins Glen? Could Kinnis finally break the drought this season and get his first Split 2 win? Could Hedesheed make a breakthrough to get another Split 2 win for himself? Could Grumley make it 2 as the flag flies to begin round 3 of season 25? Mulford leads us down the hill. That's already Matt Monday around off the start line and into the wall. We'll see if it's an early safety car, but that Fishy Motorsports entry is looking worse for wear, not even making it to turn 1.
I got some sound, Hamish.
Oh, yeah, there'll be some sound, sorry.
Thank you, mate. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All good. Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, well, good clean start apart from Matty Monday, unfortunately. Looks nice and tight as they go up to the bus stop. No, but that's okay. It was up before. Unless I've done something with it. There we go. Now I feel like I'm part of it.
I must have only been sharing the application on the whole screen.
That's okay. It's all good. Let's get back to the racing.
So Mulford, he's doing a great job. Hedesheed's already gotten past Kiddis as well. We know the sorts of racing pedigree that Hedesheed has amongst Split 2. He's a long-time Split 2 driver. Never been demoted down. He's been into Split 1 a couple of times. Same with Steve Grumley, who is on an absolute charge and an absolute tear, the former Split 2 champion from season 21, the last Gen 2 champion, putting pressure on Alex Kiddis. Then there's Jim Caperonis, who was strong back in season 23 before his traversal up to Split 1. Trent Allen.
I was about to mention Jim.
Yeah, Trent Allen as well. I mean, I would have to put Trent and Simon Hedesheed in the same boat, Brett, because it's often been a question of what if he could get a full season in, because you'd have to argue, well, he could easily win a championship if he put a full season together. Both Trent and Simon in a very similar bed. Last time we raced here, Simon Hedesheed was the race winner. So could he make it 2 in a row at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, could he? Look how tight that top group is. That is really, really tight. Look at it. There's only 0.5 separating the first 19, 18 cars at the moment. And then you've got another cluster back from 20 all the way back to Jeremy Bush in 35th. So that's massive at the moment.
We run it down towards the inner loop at the bus stop chicane. Hedesheed tucked up nicely behind Mulford on board with that Phoenix Racing Team car. It's a team that's been dominant in other racing leagues such as Scops and Pro Series and SRW and the GSRC, but yet to take a race win in the Vets. We saw in Split 3 earlier on, Vela of this team finished P1 on the road, but didn't get the race win for failing to meet his CPS requirements. So now the pressure's on Mulford to maximise here in Watkins Glen to take a race win home for Phoenix Racing Team.
Well, he started out in front. He's put the car on pole, and he's currently still out in front of Hedesheed. Only just, though, by 0.3, 0.4 of a second there. A bit of attack here coming from
Tanik and Fisher battling
Tanik
away.
and Fisher.
Inside
This is
the
going to
10.
get in 10.
Oh, it will. There's a bit of contact with them. And off the road they go. And then down towards, that was Trent Allen that was caught up in that. Trent Allen,
caught up in that.
a innocent bystander, has been absolutely collected by Damon Fisher and Bruce Tanik as they came side by side down the straight. Possibly could have been controversial moment. We'll look back at it in the highlights package post-race. But
Well,
Allen
that'll be
just
up
trying
to
to get
the-
back and going again.
That'll be up to the race
stewards.
controllers to have a look at that one and figure out what's going to go on there.
Lap 3 of 37. No safety cars called just yet. Fastest lap of the race for Tim Mulford. It's a 1:51.0.
Right.
So he is... Oh, is it a 9? Or was it a 0? It was a 0. 0.8.
It's a,
Point
no,
0.08.
that's 0.079.
There we go. So just off of a 150. He's the fastest man on track at the moment, and he's confident leading this race. We ride on board with him down towards the inner loop. Oh, look at that massive
Oh.
clutch in. He is saving. He is saving
Wow.
for his life right now. No, he's not driving a good day. Clear that. I never cleared it from last week. That's my fault. Imagine that. We've preempted who's going to win it this evening without even putting the
we
vote
can't
out
do
there.
that. We can't.
We can't do that.
Still header sheet, still maintaining that about a 0.3 of a gap. So he's tucked right in there. Kiddis is only 0.4, 0.3 as well. So this still is top 5. He's very, very close. A little bit of gap back to Dave Arney behind Jim Caparonis. So, and then it still tightens up. Have a look at that tree. There is not a full second until you get to Matt Stoyles back in 24th, and then even further back back until Jeremy Bush. So there's only really 2 or 3. Oh, look at the closing rate there.
Yep, Skulls. Big closing rate onto the back of Dave Arney. And a consistent
Up
night
the
for
track
Skulls
line.
tonight could see him close the gap up to Kiddis, but he's going to have to get past him if he hopes to close that gap before Algarve next week over at Portimao for round 4. So for Skulls, he's well within the hunt for the championship, but he's got to try and keep the consistency up and make sure that he gets some positive performances across the midpoint of the season, because that's often where we see drivers throw the championship away, as Simon Haynes is
in
into pit
pits, yeah.
lane.
And we can see that car this week.
Oh, we can. He's fixed the spec map. Good job, Hainesy. Good to
Well
see.
done. Looks good.
Yeah. Nice little blue
So
number.
he was, I think he's just taken himself out of the train there a little bit to try and get a bit of undercut.
Could be a smart
He
move.
might have felt like he was being held up a little bit.
Yeah, it could be a smart move. Now, he's not going to be able to maximise, obviously, on fresh tyres because, well, the tyres are only 4 laps old. But what he will maximise on is the fact he's now in clean air. He can stay out of trouble, and he
Yeah.
can stay out of the train, which can be held up from battling. So he could make some natural progression here by the fact of being in that clean air and not having his time held up, where other
Yeah,
drivers,
definitely.
such as Friend or Clifton or Houghton or Hoffman
you
or
can
Burns,
go all the way down that.
yeah,
you
that
can go all the way down that list.
all of them could get held up because
Yeah.
they're all within a battle pack, and being in that battle pack will drop you a lot of time, and it will drop you a significant disadvantage to other cars who may be pitting early. So he might have the tyre disadvantage at the end of the race, but one thing you'll have right now is the advantage to get track position, which can be so important at this place. It's one of the hardest circuits to pass because it's so easy to defend. It's easy
have a
to
look at that
attack, but it's
train.
easy to
That is
defend.
a
I mean,
massive
it's
train,
it's
like,
huge.
it is
It's a road
huge.
train. It's a road train of cars. I mean,
Yeah.
from Jim Caparonis all the way back to Derek Lovegrove, each car is within a second of each other.
Yeah, yeah, that's how close it is. And I'll tell you now, on track, you felt the intensity raise up. Like it was pretty intense on track. I think the thing is that the split has closed up the gap in times, and so it's just going to get, the racing's just going to get better and better and closer. So you've just got to minimise those mistakes. Dave Arney just going the fastest lap there.
Yep,
A
first 150.
point,
Yep.
yeah, 150.959. So nice time by Dave. He's flying.
So WKMP pulling out their strategy now. Russell Uren is now in too. So I'd say he's coming to try and come out just ahead of or behind Hainesy for them to work together for the next portion of this race. We'll watch if Blanchard follows them as well to make it a little 3-pack of WKMP machines to work together throughout this race. But Blanchard is being defended like, well, really quite aggressively, actually, we must be said. It was very aggressive from Tanek to defend like that, especially on lap 5. And you'd have to argue, could Tanek maybe be driving right now, not looking able to pass the visor? I mean, he's already been involved in an incident in this race. There could be some frustration involved. Have to wonder if there may be a little bit of red mist on the inner of the mag and turbo entry.
Definitely could be. I mean, he's out of position where he was where he qualified and things like that, so he'd be wanting to get up a bit higher. Bit of action happening in the background there too. Looks like is that Duggan? Duggan and Stoyles and Tim. So Tim would also be in that same boat. He'd be wanting to get back up, trying to push forward, get closer up the top end of the field. So Trent has really lost out.
Yeah, he's
from
lost
where
out.
He started.
Lost
so
out
he'd
massively.
He'd be keen to sort of get back further up.
I wonder if he would have benefited from pitting the lap that he was taken out. Come in, get some clean air.
Yeah, maybe.
On.
But I mean, the other thing too is you don't know what your car is doing. You might, you know what I mean? Kidis in pit lane. You don't. You need to figure out what your car's doing, whether it's been damaged, and whether you need to pull out a fast repair. Because it's what a waste of time is if you come into pits, don't do your fast repair, and there's enough damage to sort of not have a faster car, so to speak. So
well,
almost
like we called it into action. Blanchard's also in, so all three WKMP cars now come into pit lane. Damon Fisher's been in. He's also set the fastest lap of the race spread, a 150.89 now that he's all on his lonesome.
Nice.
So we'll see if this can help him gain anything back from that incident with Bruce Tanek, and if he can find his way further up the field than what he was. He was in the top 10. You have to argue right now, if he finishes outside the top 10 after that moment, that's a rather disappointing night for him here at Watkins Glen. Yeah,
because he was quick. I mean, he was quick enough to get into P9. And he has been quick, and it's just one of those things that's unfortunate, but race control sorted out. Is that Houghton behind Hoffman?
No, we were looking at Mulford at the moment. Here's Houghton here, just in behind Hoffy at this stage.
Yeah.
Trying to chase down
further. Here we are. Scholes on Arnie, sorry.
Yep. And Caperonis wants to try and get past Grumley if he can. Here comes Scholes on the inside. Good move there on Arnie. Arnie left him plenty of space. Smart racing here from Dave. Not over-defending, just trying to take the position back if he can, but not pushing too hard for it. He knows it's early in this race. He knows that Scholes is, there's no other better word for it. He's an absolute weapon in terms of supercars drivers in Split 2 history, and he's back in form this season. He knows that Scholes is fast. Arnie may be at his pace, but at this stage of the race, smarter choice just to let him go and follow him along and see if you can battle with him later.
Just looking at Trent Allen as well. I mean, he's closing that gap on spoils as we've got Tanek and Viger in. Rick?
So there's Trent Allen trying to chase down Peter Latham, who's hot on the heels of Matt Stoyles.
Peter Latham's just got past him, so I don't know whether he's had a bit of a thing coming out of the last turn there. Turn 11.
Oh, Brett, you're in as well. Now, Brett, I must ask, did the team put the proper amount of fuel in this week?
Yes, they did.
Very good.
They did. And it was a definite decision because I was in this pack here, and I made the choice to take myself out because I felt like I was being held up a bit in this pack. So
again, good choice.
Trying to do the undercut.
It's a good, smart decision. Now, the maximum amount of time drivers could get to a course was lap 11 in this race on the first tank. Now, if there was a safety car early on, you can make it to lap 12, but it's not looking like it's going to happen here this evening for the first stint of the race at least.
He's looking quite racy here too. Like he's having a good go at Stoyles here. Trent obviously would want to get past, but he obviously can see that Pete's keeping at pace with Stoyles at the moment.
Yeah, but
that's all that happens.
With that is Trent outpaces both of them by probably nearly half a second. So he'll be wanting to get past them because it's not just that he outpaces them; it's the guys that he was battling with at the front of the field are outpacing them by half a second per lap. So whilst he's stuck behind them, guys like Caperonis, Grumbly, Scholes, Arnie, etc., they're running away from him because they're able to open the taps a little bit more, and he's just stuck in no man's land as Craig Friends in the pit lane. If you're Trent Allen at this stage, you've got to come in. You've got to get into pit lane, and you've got to get out of this battle train because there's no. He's coming in now.
Yeah, here he comes.
There was
that's a smart move.
Yeah, there was no way he was ever going to gain anything stuck in that train. Better to come in, try and get some clean air, and then push on for a bit because that's the only way he's ever going to make back up the time.
Yeah. And it's incredible. It's a really, really hard track to pass on too. You have to get some good speed out early of some of these turns so you can actually have a decent run on some of these cars. Maybe down to the bus stop or something like that, or maybe leading into the boot or out of the toe. But it's definitely hard place to pass. I've actually seen a few people actually trying to get a run on the outer loop. Taking a wider line to try and get a shot into the chute during the race as well. Kittis just going fastest time at a 150.459.
Well, he is on his own, and the taps are open here, Brett. So he is going to undercut Tim Mulford. You'd have to argue he's going to undercut both Mulford and Heddersheet in this stop because he's able to open the taps completely and really just set qualifying times right now. Because he's doing a 50.4, which would have been good enough for a top 5 start in split 3. It would have been a bit further down in split 2, but still, it's, for race pace, this is an epic amount of pace he's got on board this car. He's one of those drivers that we're focusing on this season as part of our little, driver enhancement program to try and show off more drivers in the field as one of those drivers that we said at the start of the season. If he can fix up his racecraft, he'll do well. Well, he hasn't really had an opportunity. He's had to use it this season because he's been at the front of the field in the first 2 rounds as Mulford's in.
And hasn't he proven some points so far?
He has. I mean, he's been incredibly fast.
Lifted in as well.
He hasn't had to really battle anyone this season because he's kind of been on his lonesome. But he's been very impressive in qualifying and at race pace as well. The caveat to that is what is he going to be like when he's in a battle pack? He could be completely fine, and he could really suit split 2, or he can make some mistakes, and that may be what could be the difference maker between him and leading this championship to the very end. Matt Scholes, though, is hot on the heels of Jim Caperonis right now. 2 drivers, of long time split 2 tenure. Both of them former split 1. One of them has chased the championship glory. The other got oh so close only a few seasons ago. So both of them know what it means to try and put together a full season. Both know what it means to get so close to putting a full season together. And for Jim, it's a rebuild season. It's a get back into the swing of things, get himself back up to pace. For Scholes, it's a proving ground season. It's to get back to where he knows he can be. He's comfortable in the car. He's got a strong team around him in 801 Sim Sports, and he looks as strong as ever. You compare him to season 18 Matt Scholes, and I'd put both of them side by side and say, hey, both of them could win the title right now.
Looking strong, looking strong. Caperonis just has a little bit of I don't know whether that was enough to be an off track, but even Caperonis has impressed me so far, for the 2 races that he has been in. He's put the car in the top 10. He's running in the top 10 now. He's actually up 2 spots, even though probably guys have been pitted. But Matt Scholes, as you just mentioned, up 6 spots at the moment. So he's on a charge, and he's one to look out for.
An absolute charge right now is Scholes, and
there you go.
It's good to see him back in form. So into pit lane comes Scholes, Arnie, Hoffman, Houghton, Burns and Weston. Clark's in as well. Just to give the update, Kiddis did jump Tim Mulford in their pit stops, so that was a smart play from Kiddis to undercut him. He's managed to do that. They both took a very similar amount of fuel, Brett, so that there was purely based on the undercut strategy and being able to run a couple of faster lap times, some gains to gain some time over Tim Mulford across the pit stop period. So Kiddis is in a very strong spot now to try and take home his first race win of the season.
Let's see if he, he's been good in clean air. Let's see what he does over the next couple of laps. And he's 0.8 at the moment out on Grumley. Sorry.
Mulford.
Let me rephrase that because we haven't equalised yet. Let me have a look at the tree where Kiddis is. There he's there. Sorry. So he's about 0.6, 0.7 on Mulford at the moment. So let's see how that compares in a couple of laps. See whether he can maintain or stretch that lead. So head of sheet out in front. Grumley is about 0.8 behind. Caperonis is about 1.7 behind there as well.
And then Darren Crosby, in a little world of his own, about 8.4 seconds back. But we are well within pit stop period at the moment, so the field has been contaminated just slightly in how everyone's been spread out. They will come back together again later in the race, I assure you. Trent Allen, new fastest lap, 150.29 for the AITT Revolution E-Racing driver. That is ridiculous.
He's driving angry.
He's driving very angry. For the man that won Bathurst last week, he is a man on a mission. Now, unfortunately for him, well, actually, maybe not so unfortunately.
Head of sheet in pit.
He took a longer pit stop, 10 seconds longer than Matt Stoyles, and he's still come out of pit lane behind him. But the important part here is, Brett, he's only 7 seconds off the back of Matthew. He is chasing him down and gaining time with more fuel in the car. This could be a strategy that gets him back up into the top 10 if it plays out for him. But we'll see if the game plan is going to work. It is bold. It is possibly beautiful if you enjoy late afternoon television. I know it's the age demographic.
Wow. Yeah, and look, I think this is what happens with these, 50 litre starting fuel with a full tank capacity. It's going to mix up the strategies a bit. It's opened up that window, so we are going to see the cars split open, the packs split open a bit, but they will come back together, and it should be interesting once that starts to happen.
So as we traverse through, there's still a couple of cars yet to come through pit lane, so we'll show the pit times once they do come through the pit stops in a few laps' time. Well, actually, it should be this lap. I'd assume Grumley, Caperonis, Brook, Horsell and Bush have gone to their ends meet in terms of when they can pit. Mulford is hot on the heels of Alex Kiddis, and he is all over him like a wet rag. He's not willing to give him anything. Little dab of brake through turn 5 for Kiddis. Just trying to settle the car back in, get the front end tightened up and turned in. We'll see if he does it in mid-corner. He's trail braking through here. No dab of brake mid-corner from him, though. But
that's interesting. Tim Mulford's closed that gap in a lap and a half. He's closed 6.6 of a second. So Tim Mulford is quick. He's
very, very quick. He's passionate about his racing. He loves this racing circuit as well. And you can see that here this is the proof in the pudding that he has got the pace to win a race here tonight. We said he was one of our drivers at the start of the season as a part of that straight flush group, including Mick Clifton, Shane Randall, Andrew Hoffman, and Damon Fisher, of drivers who
Caperonis,
Brooke,
Horsell,
so they're all in. They're all in at the end of the fuel tank window at the end of lap 11. He's in amongst that straight flush group of drivers who maybe yet to take their first race win, or who haven't had a race win in a little while. And if they could get one this season, it would reignite their ego, would reignite their passion, and maybe reignite a championship hunt for them as well. So if Mulford can get that job done tonight, don't stick your nose up at him. This guy can win a championship, and he's highly capable as he heads back into P2 now that those guys are just coming out of pit lane. So Header Sheet has managed to just come out alongside Caperonis. There's Kappa there on the inside as they run up through 2. O'Brien's ahead of all of them. Breton has actually undercutted all 3 of them, but Header Sheet now ahead of Caperonis and Grumley in behind him. So this battle pack's really tightened up. Bush has been in there for 38 seconds. He's taken an extended fuel stop. See if that can undercut him some time later in the race. But look at the run through the bus stop from them. Hopping curbs like a pole vaulter hops over a pole. But they've done very well through there.
Wow. That was brilliant, Hamish.
Fantastic analysis from myself. There's the pit times as well, so you can compare the stop times to drivers. You do the mental maths, you figure out, well, if this person did a 3 second slower pit stop than the other car, they're going to gain 3 seconds on the next stop, and then vice versa. If they were 3 seconds faster, well, they're going to have to give up that 3 seconds in the pit stop as well.
Nice. Coming through the bus stop, I enjoyed coming through the bus stop with this new update. It was actually, you could attack it quite well. And it wasn't, I didn't cop any off tracks or anything like that for it, but I enjoyed going to the bus stop. Previously, I felt a little bit sketched coming through it. Now, I was going to say with Tim Mulford behind Kiddis, do you fuel save? Do you sort of go, okay, I know I'm a little bit quicker at this point or wherever it is, and just tuck yourself in there? Maybe try and fuel save a little bit. Or
I think if you're Mulford, if you can hang with him while fuel saving, you're fuel saving every day of the week. Because it's going to gain you time in the pit stop, and that's what ultimately now Mulford can win this race from the pit lane, and that's what he needs to do. So he needs to hang right behind Alex Kiddis, hang with him on pace, but save fuel at the same time. And Phoenix have been known as a great fuel saving team. You know, Rehan Leonage is one of the better young drivers out there. Of course, he's a maximum fuel saver. So Mulford's surrounded by good fuel savers out there. You know, if you watch Split 3, Steve Vella saved so much fuel he only did one stop. But that was because he filled the car. Sorry, Steve.
But it's interesting you say. So see Tim Mulford now. You know, like he's 0.8 off the back of Kiddis. You know, is he gone into that zone, or does he want? Would he prefer to have been up a tiny little bit closer?
I have who was that just went straight on? Sorry, at the bus stop. That's Ben Brook. Ben Brook has he got big damage on the front of that car? No, he's okay. I think he just locked it up.
He's all right.
Yeah, so the Frogleaf Juice Racing entry, just straight lining the bus stop there. He somehow came out of it unscathed. I was very lucky for him. Could have been a hell of a lot worse, but it's dropped him a heap of spots. Not only to
Simon
a couple
Haynes,
of drivers, but yourself as well.
This pack here is pretty hot at the moment. Haynes right on the back of Hoffman. This was a pretty intense pack.
We can see it's intensifying. It's got Andrew Hoffman at the front of it. Simon Haynes is putting all sorts of pressure onto the back of the SCR machine as they run it down towards the end of the boot section to return back to the Cup circuit. Hoffy, though, I mean,
look there, but he's back out.
I must say, Brett, Hoffy yet to have that breakout performance this season.
Yeah,
I thought coming off of the end of last season, I thought we were going to see a resurgence from Hoffy at this point. Now, I know it's early in the race. There's plenty of time to go. But
I just think...
You almost want to see him back in the top 10. Because that's what I thought was going to happen this season.
I just think that it's the level of every driver has stepped up.
Yeah.
And the times have got so much closer. Any small mistake or anything like that is exacerbated so much because everyone's so closer.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if we look back a couple of seasons ago, that's what happened to Hoffy probably a good 5 or 6 seasons ago. Every driver found some pace, and he kind of dropped back a little bit, and I'm fearful that that's going to happen again for him. So I hope for his sake, this is just a little early bump in the road, and he can get past it quite easily.
Well, he's qualified well. You know, is it just his? Is it? I don't know. I mean, I think
he qualified really well, but he's dropped spots tonight already.
Yeah. Is it his race pace or what? You know, I don't know. I'm not putting any words in anyone's mouth or presuming anything.
Now
but,
now the 47th have pointed out that he must be running with a full tank of fuel, but even running with a full tank of fuel, would he drop this much time? Because Clifton's running with a full tank of fuel. Houghton's running with a full tank of fuel. But there are 2 drivers ahead of him who are faster than him right now and didn't qualify ahead of him, and they've got full tanks of fuel. Hainesy's got a full tank of fuel, and he's all over him.
He is all over him, and I watched Hainesy all over him. Rick and I were having a fantastic battle just behind these guys too. And like I said before, a very, very hard track to pass. You know, like you got a bit of a run out here down the straight, get almost up beside each other, and then, you know, you either sort of made full commitment or you sort of backed out because you weren't quite far up enough, you know.
We'll see how it ends up for these guys when we check back.
And he's got a bit of running that time. He's got a good exit out of there.
He is.
Right on the back of Hoppy.
He's right on him.
Coming up the back.
Up through 3 and 4, up the S as they come. And Hoffy is feeling big pressure right now from Simon Haynes onto the back straight. Haynes has got proper pace on board that Mustang.
Can he do anything with it though? This is the problem, see? And
Yeah.
he backs out because he knows he hasn't got enough.
The problem is he's got to be alongside him before the braking zone of the bus stop. He can't try and lunge it in because it's never going to work. You have to be alongside before the braking zone to make that move work into there. And the problem for Hainsey is he just can't get close enough.
Yeah, and that was the issue, you know, same with myself and Rick and a few of the other guys in this pack as well. We're all having those same issues. You know, they felt like they probably held up a bit, but just to time it right to get the pace out of the corner, to make that pass and make it cleanly without doing a dive, he was just very, very hard. Hainsey again, right up his ginger.
He's all over him at the moment is Simon Haynes. He wants to move in towards the hill. He can't quite get it done under brakes.
That's really good from Hainsey though too. Like, you know, probably a season or so ago, Hainsey might have stuck that up a bit harder there and probably forced the move a little bit more than he has there. So that's good sort of vision.
He's getting a lot more. It's almost like Hainsey's thinking a few corners ahead, and he's not panicking and thinking he has to get it done at that corner. He's trying to plan and put some pressure and try and force a mistake from Hoffy possibly as well. So
it's that constant harassment too, you know. Like he goes, right, yeah, look, there he is. He is up the inside. You know, can he do anything with it? Is he far enough? No, he's not.
I'll hearken it to you, Brett. A few weeks ago, I had a fly in my room for about a week. You know how annoying that fly was? Because every time I heard it or every time I saw it, I'm like, you're still here. You haven't left yet. Simon Haynes at the moment is a fly in the room of Andrew Hoffman. He is all over him, and he's stuck behind him, and he's continuously reminding him that he's right there.
Here he goes. No. So him again. But I mean, that's great. I mean, to see what he's doing there, that is really good. That's just putting that little bit of a constant pressure on him.
He cut some grass then. I wonder. I hope he hasn't got himself a slowdown. I don't think he has, but he's got to be careful of that.
Yeah. But he's just working the back of the car. You know, just obviously Hoffy knows he's there and he's being harassed. So, you know, Hoffy's going to be possibly watching in the mirror. One of the biggest mistakes you can make, watching and being concerned what's happening behind you too much. And here he goes again as he gets out of the toe, sorry.
Towards the heel.
He's just there.
He's not quite close enough to really put a full-fledged attack on him just yet. As we ride with Rick Feiger at the moment, just in behind this battle. He's doing a very, very good job on board the Angry Birds car. So they run down towards the end of the track. So, but I mean, this constant pressure. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. But the one thing I will say about Hoffy is, especially over the last few seasons, he has not been cracking under pressure that much.
No.
Now, previously, maybe 5 or so seasons ago, he may have been more exempt to, or more likely to crack under pressure a couple of times.
He's done well.
But right now, he's like a rock being hit with being hit with water. He just doesn't crack under the pressure. He's very cool, calm, and collected in that position.
Just seeing Hainsey come out of turn 11, then he got the car sideways a bit, so he lost all drive coming out of that corner down the straight. And, you know, you got to sort of think, okay, is Hainsey now sort of winding those tyres up a bit? But here he goes. He's having a big look this time, and I think he might be getting it done.
Side by side.
Side by side.
And Hainsey has finally put the move on him. It only took him 3 laps and 3 attempts at the bus stop, and he's finally got that job done over Andrew Hoffman.
That was a great job there. He got himself far enough upside, and Hoffy sort of seen him there, and he's let him go. So that was a good release.
You know what the real issue now is, though, for Hainsey? So the 4 to 5 laps he was stuck behind Hoffy, they've given up 2 seconds to Mick Clifton, who's now run away a bit from them. And that's the only issue in that scenario.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. Like, it's not going to help you. They're already past critical laps, so what could you do? Pit early, but that's a long way to go on a set of tyres.
That's
a long way to go.
Still 20 laps.
Yeah.
But as you can see, like Rick now on the back of Hoffy as well, myself there, Stoyles there chasing me down. He was pretty close to me. Having a look, Peter Latham, Horsell, all the way back to Trent, you know. And Trent, I mean, what can Trent do? He's stuck behind this massive massive
he
train.
can't do very much. And this is pretty
what-
much the extent of his gains at this point as well. I mean, there's a few drivers in there that took similar pit stops to him. He's not going to get them in the pit lane. He's got to try and do some moves now on track to get this job done. And get this car back up into the top 10. Here comes... Oh!
Yeah, no, I backed out, but yeah, we got up beside him a couple of times. It was a great battle. It was a sensational battle.
We'll come back to this one very shortly anyway, but I mean, yeah, that just, it proves, Brett, how much time you can give up stuck in a battle train like that. I mean, there's nowhere you can go. This car, unfortunately, unlike the Gen 2 car, you cannot easily make moves, at pace, we'll say, is right on board with Alex Kiddis. There we see some of the suspension movements running it up through the toe. The issue is, as soon as you pull out of the draft, it's like hitting a brick wall. You can't get past. And unless you have a run, unless you have a run out of a corner which gets you to top speed faster than the other car, you're never going to do it. And that's one of the biggest issues.
I haven't. Do they side draft these?
They can.
Or
well,
not?
they do in real life. They side draft them in real life. So is that maybe the tactic that drivers need to start using, is trying to side draft and bumping doors with drivers to get their cars further up? I mean, then you get into the scenario of, do you bump doors too much and then cause an accident? That's the... Can you trust that the other car is going to be stable enough to sit there and let you side draft off them?
It's a tough one. Just while we're on that, we were on Kiddis and Mulford. So Mulford's obviously closed that gap up. He's only 0.5 behind Kiddis again. So he nearly dropped back to a second, but he's closed that gap. So that's worked really well for him. So I'd say he'd be just in conserve fuel save mode. And then coming back to O'Brien, Heddersheed and Caparonis. Great little battle here. They're not far away from each other.
No, they're not. They are battling away tooth and nail for position. We're at the halfway point of this race. Lap 19 of 37. Alex Kiddis leads the way to Tim Mulford, Brenton O'Brien, Simon Heddersheed, Jim Caparonis in the top 5. Steve Grumley, Craig Fred, Matt Scholes, Dave Arney and Paul Burns currently inside of the top 10. We're going to take this opportunity to go for a quick ad break. We'll keep an eye on this top 10 battle for this stage. Don't go anywhere. Fabulous season 25 of the Racecraft V8 Veterans continues soon with the split 2 action of round 3 here at Watkins Glen. But until very soon, enjoy these messages from Racecraft. Welcome back into the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action of Season 25, Round 3 from Watkins Glen. Brett O'Brien coming into pit lane at this stage. If you're just joining us for the first time here this evening, it is Alex Kiddis who leads the way to Tim Mulford in behind throughout this race to this point. We have had the 3 lead changes. We're on lap 21 of 37. Alex Kiddis is the current leader. Hamish Munro and Brett Fisher alongside you once again here this evening, calling the action for you. If you're watching over on the V8 Veterans channel, well, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing with V8 Veterans action across the season. You'll catch the Split 4, Split 3 and Split 2 action right here. Go check out Südspeed TV to see the live Split 1 action on the Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. If you're watching over on Infinity Broadcasting, hit the like button and subscribe to the bell icon too, so you're notified for the Split 2 V8 Veterans action, as well as the IRWC Rodknock Cup on Friday evenings and the VRS Porsche Cup Series on Monday nights as well. Brett, we're past the halfway point of this race. We've gone green the whole way. Kiddis leads the race at the moment, but Mulford is right there behind him. I suspect he may be saving some fuel because he's not really putting much pressure on Kiddis at the moment, but Kiddis is not running away either.
And we've also had a whole plethora of cars come in to take their second stops as well, so that'll start and even the playing field out. But yeah, Tim Mulford, he looks like he's just managing a lot of things at the moment. He closes that gap up every now and again. He was up to about 0.4, 0.5, and now he's back out to about 0.8. So, is he just biding his time, Now
that we are past halfway, but let's check out how our debutant Tony Chapman is doing here this evening. Unfortunately for Tony, he's only done his 1 pit stop here at this stage, and he'll look to be corrected back into last place post the pit stops in this one. He's just really struggling out there for pace at the moment. We'll see how he does though across the season, and whether he's strong enough to remain in Split 2 for season 26, but opportunity for him to obviously just get some laps under his belt. It's only his first race here in the league. Doesn't want to make a hero of himself obviously too early. Just wants to settle in for a solid season ahead.
Definitely. As we see more cars coming, Scholes, Burns and Blanchard in pits, as well as Mulford's in as well.
Yeah, Mulford's in. I suspect a bit of an undercut possibly to come here from Mulford. Save some fuel in behind Kiddis. He'll use the fresh tyres to try and chase him down. Mulford will be hoping for clear track now, Brett. He'll be hoping to kind of just flip the script on Alex a little bit, do what Alex did to him in the first stint. He'll come out just behind or just ahead of Jeremy Bush. Oh, that's worked out perfectly for him. Just ahead of Bush and Fisher, and he's only in behind Matt Monday, so he's got one car to get past before he's got clear road ahead of him. This has worked out brilliantly for Tim Mulford, so he'll get some toe off of Monday. He'll have a lap to warm up his tyres. I doubt that Bush or Fisher are going to put too much pressure on him because they know that he's not their fight. They'll just tuck him behind and they'll wait. They've got a pit stop to do just yet. May even let him just drag them forward a little bit here and catch up to Monday.
Exactly. Yeah, got to have your smarts about you, don't you? Like you know who you're racing with, know who you're racing around, and make it work for you, not against you.
Well, Mulford is doing a cracking job tonight. We'll check in with him throughout the portion of this race as it continues on. Brett Taylor, what a season he's having. Top 20 in the championship at the moment. Brett, one of those drivers I've been following for a very long time. One of the nicest drivers you can speak to in the field as well. He's a real larrikin from Tassie, now living down in the Geelong area of Victoria. And this is a guy that, well, I mean, for me, after interviewing him a couple of times in SRW, this is a guy that I want to see get himself a podium or a win here in Split 2, because the post-race interview alone, Brett, would be worth him getting a podium or a win. He is awesome. He is such a top bloke and very driven to do better. And it's been a little while for him to get back up to speed here in Vets. He's done well in other leagues, as I mentioned. EWT though, starting to get back into their own now. They're just, I think, as a team, probably waiting to take that next step. It was, you look at both EWT, previously EWR, and then you look at Accelerate as well. Obviously, they're both the teams that broke away when Taipan dissolved, and that was the two split. It was kind of a splitting of a phoenix, from the ashes of Phoenix Rises. Well, two of them rose in that sense. Out of the two teams, we'd have to argue that XSR are probably the more successful team out of the two. But in saying that, these guys are getting better and better each season. Craig Healy's improving, Scott Weston's improving, and just maybe getting some new blood into the team and getting some new blood into the environment of the team could help them take that next step and really push forward.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and I think there's a lot to say with the teammates and things like that as well. Some of the guys who are running as privateers or whatever it is, good luck to them and lots of stuff. But there is some definite advantages of actually running with a team that, you know, because you can sometimes get just stuck in your old habit and not move forward, or not, you know, might need to just change one thing or whatever, and it might improve you significantly, you know.
Well,
I mean, a few more people coming to pits. So here we go. Caperonis, Grumley and Arnie.
Yep, they're all in. Well, if we compare them right to a couple of other teams, so SCR, for example, Southern Cross Sim Racing, only started up a year ago. They started up at the end of Season 4 of 2024. They're a year into their tenure. They've already had 2 drivers in Split 1 in that year. They've grown immensely with the amount of drivers they have in the team. Yes, there's been a couple of hiccups here and there. But right now, in terms of driver base and the amount of drivers they have, they're one of the strongest teams in the whole field. Just based on how many drivers they have in the team. And the more drivers you have in the team, and I often believe it's quality over quantity, of course.
They all dropped at the same time.
They all did.
Comes out
they all did. Caperonis has jumped both Grumley and Arnie in that pit stop. Craig Friend is going to drop in behind them. He's already taken his pit stop. He's going to get Grumley. Is he going to get Caperonis too? He's not. He's going to have to tuck in with them. He will.
Can keep it there or not.
This is going to be a tightening battle. A tightening battle between them.
Rings right up on him now.
He wants him. And he's got warm tyres as well. He's got warm tyres. So Caperonis can defend this all he wants. Oh my God, I thought there was going to be contact. I thought there was going to be contact. But, you know, it's the dying embers of the race. This is the point of the race where you defend like that, Brett. There's no point letting him go. You've only got 14 laps left of the race. There's no point saying, hey, he's got fresher tyres, I might as well let him through. Because you at least want to try and defend it, but Friend's not going to give him a choice. He's going to send it up the inside. Great move by Craig Friend. And now up another position.
Nice and clean, very assertive. And now Friend will go on with this hopefully, because his nose ties up temperature. Tim's probably still trying to get that balance of his tyres.
Oh, bit of a wiggle though from Friend off of the toe. Yeah. Could lose him a little bit of time here to Caperonis, who's looking to chase him down. Kiddis is in pit lane. Race leader's in. And I've just seen that Grumley locked it up down there, nearly made contact with Caperonis, but just didn't quite get there. So Kiddis in. He's aimed it for the pit exit. Houghton's in as well. Where is Mulford? He's just coming around turn 10 and up towards turn 11. Can Mulford undercut his way to the race lead? It was 23.2 seconds was his last pit stop. Kiddis is still in the box. He's still in the pit box as Alex Kiddis. It's past 22 seconds. It's a 25.66 in pit lane for Kiddis. He's lost the race lead to Tim Mulford. Is he going to lose P2 to Simon Heddersheed as he exits pit lane? There's Kiddis. He's only just going to have him. And it's probably helpful that Michael Jones is between them, who still needs another stop in this one. So Kiddis rejoins the circuit in P2. Heddersheed in P3. Skulls in P4.
We're on lap 25 of 37. Things are starting to heat up now. Still got a couple of people going to pits. We've got Bush and Taylor exiting pits now.
So yet to pit as well is Horsell, Lovegrove, Damon Fisher, Michael Jones inside of the top 10. Everyone else has taken their second stop inside of the top 10. In fact, they're the only cars on the whole circuit that need to do their second pit stops in this race. So once they come in, it'll resituate the whole field and will be proper order to the very end. So for Kiddis now, he has got 4.5 seconds to chase down Tim Mulford. And the one thing he can wish for right now, Brett, is that your brother gets that Mustang in pit lane or a safety car.
Well, Damon would have to be getting fairly close though.
He would be. He pitted on lap 2, so he'd be running it fairly dry at this point. He would have very likely filled the car.
and he's going to come out with less fuel, fresh tyres, so he'll be quick, but you wouldn't want to leave it too much longer. We'll see Horsell in pits, and here comes Damon now.
Yeah, Damon's in now, so that's going to release Alex Kiddis, who's got 2.7 seconds up to Derek Lovegrove. Watch that disappear in about a moment's time. It's 2.7 seconds he can gain on Tim Mulford now that he's in fresh air. So we've got 12 laps to go at Watkins Glen, and it is a 3.8 second chase down for Alex Kiddis on Tim Mulford. Kiddis has got 3 lap fresher tyres. They've both got very similar amounts of fuel in the car, but the one thing you'd have to claim, Brett, that saved Tim Mulford was the fact that he was patient. He sat behind Kiddis for the midpoint of the race, and he saved at least a litres worth of fuel.
Yeah. No, he's done well. He's played this race quite well.
He probably saved, actually. It's 2.3 litres per second. It was 2 seconds faster, so he saved about a lap and a half worth of fuel sitting behind Kiddis. So that's paid off brilliantly for Tim Mulford.
So he's just got over 11 laps to hold Kiddis out now. Now he's qualified P1. He's currently in P1. Can Tim do it? Can Tim take a win here and possibly look to a future of a championship, as we talked about earlier? Or can Kiddis come back and knock Tim off his little pedestal he's on at the moment?
Well, you have to wonder if it's possible that he can do it. He's yet to take his first race win in Split 2. Not just this season, but, well, he's only ever been in Split 2 this season as Alex. But in the first 2 races, he's been on the podium. He got to take a race when he leads the championship at the moment. Tim Mulford, across his 3 seasons that he's been in Split 2, he's yet to take a race win. It was a rocky start for him early on as Lovegrove is in. So Kiddis is now released. 2.8 seconds is the gap between Kiddis and Mulford. Kiddis gained over a second that lap on Tim Mulford.
Yeah, release the dog in you.
Absolutely. Absolutely released.
This is going to be great to see if this closes up. This is really going to be good to see. That's the gap. Jones as well. That
is the gap between P1 and P2. Lurking in behind is P3 in Simon Hedesheed. Michael Jones is currently P3 on the road, but he needs a second CPS to get this car home. So he's not a factor at this stage. Matt Scholes, P4. Craig Friend corrected P5. When he gets to P5, it'll be 13 positions gained in this race. What a run from Craig Friend.
Yeah, Craig Friend has done a fantastic job.
On the outside header sheet, what a send on Michael Jones. Down at the laces of the boot, and Hedesheed gets by him. Scholes wants to make it a 2-for-1. Can he make the move done here at the heel?
Yeah,
at the toe, he does so. So both drivers going together. Friend wants to get through as well. And in the span of a corner, Michael Jones has dropped 3 positions, and those tyres are screaming for him to come into pit lane.
Yeah, if you ever wanted a sign, that's a sign.
Yeah, that's probably about as well. That's a neon sign, isn't it? I know we have the Vegas neon sign as the logo this season. You couldn't have had it written out any brighter. Get in pit lane and get fresh tyres on board, because you've dropped 4 spots or 5 spots really in the span of one section of circuit. Grumbly and Arnie now
Grumbly
chasing
just getting
down.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grumbly just getting sideways coming out of turn 9.
I thought Tannick might have had a moment because he's battling here with Scott Weston.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're getting really close and tight together. So Jones is in. Finally comes into pit lane and commits to the drop down the field that he's about to have. Tim Mulford, 1.3 seconds is the gap, so it's another second loss to Alex Kiddis. So by the time we cross the line to begin lap 29 of this race, Alex Kiddis should be around about 0.3 of a second off the tail of Kiddis. He'll have tow range by the final corner.
So Kiddis just doing his best lap of a 50.335 that last lap. Tim Mulford last lap of a 51.698. So Kiddis is on a charge.
He's on an absolute charge right now as Alex Kiddis. Started in P2 today. Mulford started in P1. The podium, in fact, is unchanged at the moment. Header sheets where he started in P3. He's gelled in with this circuit. His last time here was a race win. a few seasons ago. And Hedishi would love to do it again, but he's got a bit of time to gain to get up to Kiddis and Mulford at the front of the field.
I wonder how Mulford's going on fuel, whether he's,
I think he's
playing
fine.
a bit conservative.
I think he's fine. I think he saved fuel in that
just
middle
Kiddis
stint.
on a rampage.
Yep, Kiddis has got 3-lap fresher tyres. I would argue Mulford's probably saving his tyres because he knows he's going to have to defend against Kiddis. If he pushed, because they were 3 laps older, if he pushed too hard, his tyres would be gone and he'd have no hope to defend the win. So he's cruising this car to the point of defence, and he'll then start to push the tyres once he needs to defend position, because there's no point pushing to try and build the gap when he can match you on speed.
So still further back down the pack, 24th, Scholes, Latham and McKenzie and your Wren all having a decent little battle there as well.
Hoffman's battling away with you, Brett. So we're down to 0.6 of a second. So he gained a little bit less that time, but he's within tow range as Alex Kiddis. So watch him to be right on the back of Tim Mulford by the time they get to the inner loop at the bus stop.
It's heating up. I can feel the pressure cooker being turned on to high.
It's just starting to turn up. Both drivers yet to take a race win in split 2. Hedishi has not taken a race win since the last time we were at this circuit. Matt Scholes has not taken a race win for at least a couple of seasons. Friend is yet to take a race win in split 2. Caparonis hasn't had a win since Sebring of season 23. Grumley hasn't had a win in split 2 since the final round of season 21 when he won the championship. Dave Arney, to my memory, has not won a race in split 2 before. The last time Bretton O'Brien finished P1 on the road was Phillip Island at the start of the season, but the win didn't count. So the last win that counted was Road America last season. And then you look at Mick Clifton, yet to take a race win in split 2. So the majority of the top 10 right now are either non-winners in split 2 or drivers who have not had a race win by nearly a season ago or more.
Just watching Kiddis here, obviously in the box seat at the moment. He's really on his on Mulford's tail right at the moment. He can taste the blood in the water.
Not just the blood in the water, he can taste that Mulford could be put under pressure. There you see the battle pack behind them. 0.2 of a second. It's nearly 4 seconds back to the battle pack behind. If either of these guys make a mistake, Brett, the 4 cars behind them will take advantage straight away and pick up the crumbs like a dust bunny. There's no way they're going to let this thing slide if either of these drivers make a mistake.
Dave Arney just got past Grumley by the look of that as well.
Watch for them as well as they battle for that gap to close up a little bit with Hedishi to chase them down.
Yeah.
Because Scholes will be smart here.
If
Scholes can see on the timing that these two are going to start to battle, he'll wait to try and get past Hedishi. He won't try and force his way through just yet. He'll let them slowly catch up, and that's when he'll pounce to try and get by him.
7 laps, so there's still plenty of time. Still plenty of time for anything to happen. So Hedishi at about 4.1 at the moment.
So Tim in the chat, I think, was confirming before that he was just saving his tyres across that portion of the stint. He's not saving fuel, he's just saving tyres to this point because he wants to have a defensive car. He knows it's easier to defend when you know the tyres are going to hold up than try and run away and end up not working out for you. He's taking the better percentage. So
well, it's a smart move,
Very smart move. He's a very smart driver, is Tim Mulford. Very, very smart driver. As I said, very accomplished in other racing leagues in the supercar. Yet to get that breakout performance here in the Vets. Was one of the drivers we mentioned at the start of the season as one of the ones we'd be watching. And we predicted, Brett, if he took his first win, there would be no excuse as to why he couldn't win the championship this season, barring him missing 3 rounds. That'd be the only world I could see Tim winning a race and not challenging for the championship as if he misses 3 rounds.
Well, Kiddis hasn't got any closer that time around. There was only 100th, a tenth of a second between them at this point. So there's still 0.3, 0.4 of a second. So maybe Kiddis is just sort of balancing the car out a little bit, letting it all chill out a bit.
So So Dave Arney, as you mentioned, made it past Steve Grumpy. He's actually gained some time on him that lap, Brett. It's out to about a second now. He's chasing down Caparonis, who's trying to get past Craig Friend towards the bus stop, but Friend cuts that line of fire off almost instantaneously. And there's Matt Scholes.
Jim had a good run. Like,
he's
he's still in 6th spot. So
honestly, I don't think Jim's actually lost too much being in Greece last season.
Yeah.
I think he's actually in quite good form.
Yeah, he's down 1 spot from where he started, but I'll tell you what, that's not bad. I mean, he might actually go to maybe might put up him for driver of the day, maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. Right now, my front runners are Heddersheed, Friend, and Caparonis.
Yeah.
They're my front runners at the moment.
Yeah, definitely Friend. You know, he's battled out good, battled out very, very strong throughout this race. Kiddis back to about 0.5 off Mulford, so is he? Oh, just as I say that, he closes up a bit. I don't know whether Mulford just shortened his exit there a little bit and tightened the car up. But Kiddis still hunting him down, but hasn't really. He's not in that sort of zone to put pressure on him. So is Kiddis just, you know, laying in wait? You know, just yeah.
I think he is. I think he's waiting for an opportunity. He had a slight slide off of the final corner to ruin the run a little bit down towards turn 1. But I'm sure if he finds an opportunity to get by, he will try and take it if he can. He continues to follow Mulford right onto the ripple strips of the Exeter 1. And he's just got to try and find the spot he can do it. He's not pushing too hard to create an opportunity.
Listen to him laying. He pulled out of the throttle. And he's coming up the hill there.
He's not trying to push too hard. He's trying to save tyres as well.
Yeah.
Because he knows that if he's not alongside Mulford by the bus stop, which he's just given up a lot of time because he hopped the curb, if he's not alongside Mulford by the bus stop, there's no point him pushing through the S's because he'll never get alongside him and get past. He'd be wasting tyres. So it's a very smart play there from Kiddis.
So, you know, like we talked about earlier, whether Kiddis has got the racecraft to fight in a pack. You know, I mean, even though he wasn't deep in a pack, I think he's done a bit of fighting tonight, and he's proven a couple of points here. Good Skulls on header sheet at the moment, so Skulls still very racy.
Very, very racy, and for my money right now, Skulls looks to be, I would argue, Brett, probably the most aggressive driver on track this season, but the most successful with that aggression. He looks, for me, Brett, I look at who's on track at the front runners right now, and who would I be most scared of to battle for the championship? And at this stage, it's Matt Scholes. Honestly, out of anyone who is in the top 5 and fast enough to win a race, if I'm battling for a championship this season, he is the one driver I want to have 3 bad races. I do not want him anywhere near a championship winning position if I'm a driver. He knows how to.
Friend just looked like he was it Friend or Skulls? Skulls, he just clipped the outside wall there in just a very small amount. Kiddis closed now on Mulford, so he's 2.7 at the moment. Let's see if he's got a run on him.
He'll want to try and get this move into the bus stop if he can find the chance. He's not quite there this time by Heddersheed. He's got a good little gap over Skulls at the moment as they run through the bus stop once again. So we're on lap 33 of 37. 4.5 laps to go of Watkins Glen International. Is it Tim Mulford's moment and night to shine here in the V8 Veterans, or is it Kiddis's to make his crowning moment this season and win his first race? I mean, I know I joked earlier and said, you know, if Mulford, you know, whoever wins tonight's going to win the championship. Genuinely, with Kiddis leading the championship, if he wins the race tonight, it's hard to look past him, and the stats don't lie. No. So if he's able to maximise his early season run and get a win tonight, the momentum sits with him then at that point. And on the opposite side of the coin, if it goes to Mulford, who's had an up-and-down start to the season across the first 2 rounds, a race win tonight could reignite his championship. And what a storyline it would be for him to come back from where his season started to go on to win the championship at the end of round 10 by round 3 being his catalyst race. That would be it'd be an amazing storyline if that would happen. Both are intriguing and both are exciting. I lick my lips at the thought of how they taste throughout this season as well.
Just watching this lap too, Kiddis is planning the move. Like around the boot and things like that, he drops back to about 0.5, 0.6, and then through the straight, he closes back up to about, he's right up about 0.3, 0.3.5 at the moment, but he's definitely planning that attack. You know, like he's calculating that. He's got right up on 0.3 now, 0.2. So yeah, wow, that's some great insight there.
Well, there's close battles all throughout the field, with only a few laps to go. Blanchard's got Crosby all over him. Clark's got Burns there, and then Tannick's on the hunt to get back up the 4 spots that he's lost in this race as well. Further back in proceedings, we've got Matt Stoyles under big pressure here from Pete Latham, Russell Uren, Scott McKenzie and Michael Jones, with Lovegrove and Damon Fisher so far down the order after the initial contact earlier in the race. So there's battle packs everywhere. We try and show them off as best we can. And these guys are battling for sheep stations, even if it's only for top 25 honours. But the most important is this one, for the race win. It's a few laps left, Brett. When we cross the line, 3 laps to go. 3 laps, and it's 3/10 that's the gap.
Yeah, when is Kiddis going to make the move?
When's he going to do it?
So he's closed up that gap again towards the end of the boot.
You feel like it's not if he can do it, it's when he will do it.
It's when.
It's, you know, he looks racy enough that you're confident he's going to go for the move, but when is he going to go for it? Is he going to? Has he been planning for it the last 5 laps? Has he determined a corner which he knows that if Mulford makes a mistake, he can get the move done easily? Or is he sitting in the position right now in that driver's seat thinking, if he makes a mistake, I'm going to jump all over it as soon as possible? As we run down towards turn 1, Kiddis is trying to open the door. Inside line at 1. Here comes Kiddis. Side by side they go. Off the exit. Contact's made. Kiddis goes round. Out of the race lead. And off the podium is Hedesheed, Scholes, Friend, Caparonis and Dave Arney all scream past him. Grumley's past him as well. He's recovered enough to come out in P8. I'm unsure, although he's just made a mistake there. Yep, and that's hurt the car. Yeah, that has killed his race. That has absolutely killed his race.
That's frustration.
Now, I'm unsure what the cause was, if it was Mulford's fault or if it was Kiddis's fault or if it's a racing incident. We'll look at it in the post-race highlights. But it is a race-changing and championship-changing moment as well.
Haynes looking for a pass on Houghton here as well.
Oh, there's a bit of contact possibly.
Things are getting racy all over the shop.
Oh, it is.
Tannick had a crack at Clark just then as well. And Burns is quite close to Tannick as well. So things are going left and right here as we get to the closing stages of this race. Things are happening.
It is
left, right, and centre.
All heating up amongst this field. Look at how close this battle is now with Houghton. He's feeling the pressure from the WKMP cars.
Oh, where to look.
Tim Mulford. Now, obviously, there may be an asterisk over his head here with 2 laps to go, Brett, because if it's deemed his fault, he would likely get a points penalty, I would say, being so late in the race, which would give the race win to Simon Hedesheed. But I don't know. I don't know if it was all his fault. I mean, I know technically he'd be considered off the track because he was over the white line, but Kiddis also looked like he came over on him.
Hands up, not my call.
Not my call. That's RC's call. I'm leaving that one up to RC because from the initial point of view, I've got no idea. It looks like you could blame either one of them. I don't know though, but we'll leave it up to RC.
Lap 36 of 37. Someone we haven't mentioned much tonight, but he's done an exceptional job. Brenton O'Brien up 11 spots at the moment.
A great effort.
And he's just sort of out the moment on his lonesome, but that's a brilliant job. He's just plugged away there and he's done a great job there. And as you mentioned, Craig Friend up 14, Matt Scholes up 7. So there's some big shakers and movers all up and down.
Well, O'Brien's doing a great job, up 11 into the top 10. He's been putting a lot of time and effort into work recently, of course, with the Australian Grand Prix coming up for the MotoGP out at Phillip Island. So he's been heavy with work, or dealing with work for that one. So if anyone out there wants to come and commentate a Porsche Cup race on Monday, send me a message. Fortunately, Brenton can't be there this week as Mark Houghton has copped big damage on this car through the bus stop, and I have to wonder, Brett, if he's actually money shifted this car, because it doesn't look like it's going very fast.
No, and that light is flashing on the back of it as well.
Yep,
so
it's blown an engine.
It's an indicator. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yep. So he has blown an engine into the bus stop. That'll be race done for Mark Houghton. And obviously not enough time to go for a safety car to be called, so he'll be allowed to tow back to pit lane. Might be a local yellow thrown in that area. But what it does mean is, though, there is 5.3 kilometres left for Tim Mulford to get to the race win tonight. 5.3 as he gets the white flag. 1 to go at Watkins Glen. A swan song, if you will, for Tim Mulford in what has been a long time coming. He's had a podium prior to now this season, or not this season, in his tenure across the Gen 3 era of V8 Veterans. He came into the league as a part of the Gen 3 upgrade. And what a
it's
run
not
it's
over
been.
just yet either, because Heddersheed is closing that lap. He was about 3/10 faster than Mulford on that last lap, so it's still not over yet. And there's still battling going on behind these guys too.
Yep, Scholes and Friend are still battling away, possibly for a podium. Caparonis is getting involved as well. It's all happening inside of the top 10, even outside the top 10. Blanchard, Haynes and Crosby are battling. Uren's had to come into pit lane, so maybe not enough fuel on board that car to get to the very end. Andrew Hoffman's had to pull out of the race, unfortunately, with PC issues, so hopefully a speedy recovery for that, for his PC to get back on track with us soon. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Have PC issues take someone out of a race like that.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. So hopefully it gets fixed up very soon and we see Hoffy back on the road with us. But it's only the heel and the cup circuit to go for Tim Mulford.
Well, Mulford's knows that the header sheet's there. He's obviously trying to break the toe coming up out of the boot.
He doesn't want to give him any sort of run. If he makes it, if he makes it through turn 9 without a mistake, I think he'll be fine. I think he's got enough time back to Heddersheed that he can cruise this car at race pace to home. But what a sight it is, and what a scene it is as well. As we come around towards the final corner, the last time we were here, it was Simon Heddersheed on the top step. This time round, Tim Mulford takes his first race win in the V8 Veterans and is the king of Watkins Glen. Matt Scholes home on the podium in P3. Craig Friend in P4. Caparonis inside of the top 5. Dave Harney with a great effort in P6. Grumley, O'Brien up 11 into P8. Clifton in P9 just. And then Chris Blanchard makes up the top 10 with Haynes, Crosby, Burns, Tannick, Clark, Weston, Duggan, Allen, Viger, and Brett Fisher inside of the top 20. What a race it was to the end. I think the 4 names, Brett, I'm happy for you to chime in with any other names to replace.
You let me know.
I think Craig Friend, Simon Heddersheed, Jim Caparonis, or Brenton O'Brien.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of them.
So get your votes in.
Chuck them in.
Get your votes in for Driver of the Day into the chat. Either Craig Friend, Simon Heddersheed, Jim Caparonis, or Brenton O'Brien. We're not using our wild card this week on the race winner. Sorry, Tim.
What a fantastic race. I'll tell you what, that was great to watch. It was actually great to be on track. There was plenty of battling going on. All up and down the field. It was sensational running out here on Thursday night. Yeah, exciting stuff. And, you know, as the trend continues, third winner, third race is Tim Mulford going to win this championship, as you alluded to earlier, you know, Hamish? You know, is he going to be able to carry on?
He possibly
Let's go back to the highlights.
Well, it all started, though, off the race start. This was Matt Monday going off the road after contact with Todd Duggan. And that's what put him down the order almost immediately at the very start of this race. We then had a nice little clean run up until lap 2, until this moment with Bruce Tannick and Damon Fisher in towards the back end of the hill, and Allen just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's hurt Allen big time, that.
It's really, really hurt him. We then got into the pit stop period after that, and then we kind of quietened down for a little portion of the race. I'm just trying to find the next moment for us, actually, to try and check it out. So, this was a big moment in the grand scheme of things. Was Alex Kiddis getting past Tim Mulford for the race win as well, but I think I've actually scrolled past at this stage, so I've missed it
That's all right.
completely.
You know, hey,
It's just a lot of pit stops and a lot of passing people who are in pits, I'll be honest with you, so we'll try and find the next highlight for us. Simon Haynes had a minor off track as well at one point. That was what ended up with Ben Brook off the road, actually, so let's watch this back a bit proper.
Wow.
So let's watch this through. So
Hainsey trying to keep that under control too.
So Hainsey's gone for a big dive. Brooks not realised on. Hang on. Oh no, so that was actually the lap prior.
That's okay.
That was the lap prior. So is this? Oh, there we go. That's a bit better actually. Can
we go back a little bit? Or
yes,
you restricted?
Yes, we can. We'll go here.
I want to see that. We'll go here.
Yeah,
okay.
So. Oh wait, no, it's Hedishi getting past. Where's Haynes?
That's all right. We've got time.
There he is. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Squeezed. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that was why that car was completely fried for a period of time.
Two doesn't go into one there at all.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
It might make one.
It might make
two.
One. You don't know. It might make one. And then this moment here with Scott McKenzie and yourself, Brett. Oh, Scott just getting a bit...
Nearly the same.
Nearly the same.
The same thing. Scott backed out of that one,
yeah, it was a big moment. And then I think probably the biggest of the whole race, if I can finally get there. Let's go to this bit here. Here we go. This was probably the biggest moment of the whole race, where it completely changed the landscape of the whole race as well. So this will give us a better look at it, actually.
Yeah.
So down into turn one, they're side by side. There's a bit of actually Kiddis actually knocks him off the road. Yeah. He gave him a door, and then Kiddis comes across,
and he's running out. And he's running out of room.
Yeah, he's running out of room. So from that angle there, you kind of have to look at Kiddis and question why.
Yeah. Yeah, look, he's coming. I mean, look, this is only my opinion. It's nothing, official or anything like that. But it looks like Kiddis is just coming really hot. He's got the run on him, but he hasn't been able to pull the car up enough to keep it on a line where he wants to keep it. And he's just run into Tim, and then obviously the momentum of the car just kept on sort of pushing it out wider into the side of Tim. So it'd be interesting to see the call on that one. But yeah.
Well, we've got our two of our podium finishers here tonight. We've got our P2 finisher in Simon Hedishi in the green room, so we'll have a quick chat to him. Simon, a fair while between drinks for yourself on the podium. Congratulations, though. You're a previous race winner here at Watkins Glen, and now it's a P2 as well onto the resume. Congratulations on your night on the road tonight out of Watkins Glen. Talk us through your race and talk us through the thoughts when you saw Kiddis had been spun round off the exit of turn one, and all of a sudden you were another position up the road.
Good evening, boys. Yeah,
evening.
I wondered whether I'd get back up here. It's getting tougher and tougher. Just qualified well. My first lap wasn't too bad. I think I did a 50.3, but it's just not good enough now. The league is so tight. And if you look down, I think there was like about, I think it went down to almost position 30 before they were out of the 50s.
There was 32 cars. There was 32 cars within a second.
Yeah,
it's pretty tight.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And with these things so hard to pass, qualifying is so important, and I'm not very good at qualifying, to be honest. But yeah, I reset, did a second lap, and got into the 49s, which is the fastest I've gone around here. Certainly set my race up. When I came out of the pits, I overfueled. I took a little bit more than I should have and got stuck behind Brenton, who short fueled. And the second time I came out behind Michael Jones. I just sort of lost ground there. But yeah, when I seen Tim and Alex were getting close, I thought, there's a chance something could happen. But I was also battling Matt, which was a bit of a blast from the past. I think last time we raced here, I was battling Matt for the win. In the same position. So, I seen they could come together. When they came together, we were just too far back. But, really happy to get a second, to be honest. Didn't even get a mention in the Split 2 preview. And I thought, I've been forgotten about here. I didn't fit into any groups.
Well, we thought, Simon, that...
so I thought I'd better put my name back on the list.
I tell you what, I want to, there are some drivers out there, unfortunately they didn't make the cut on the little preview, but I think think of it this way. I know how good you can be, Simon. I've mentioned before that if you put a full season together, I think you can win the championship. Get your name on the board. You know.
Yeah,
This is definitely a way to get your name on the board, is to get a podium.
Well, there you go. There you go. I've thrown it back out there. I had a terrible run at Phillip Island. Well, it wasn't a bad recovery, but I started badly and lost a heap. Well, I was dead last, but I came back to 14th, and Bathurst I qualified shite. So still jumped a few positions, but yeah, I'm happy to get a result. I think this season is some really good tracks that I really like. Good to have those Aussie tracks to start with. That was awesome. Probably the next one, not a fan of, but yeah. And I've torn my knee, so I've had a bit of time off, so I've been able to do four. I'm able to do 4 rounds in a row here, which
left or right knee?
Left knee.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, I've had to change my clutch. I've turned the brake. The clutch pedal's now my brake pedal, and because I don't use load cells, it's not hard to push. It's all muscle memory really, because it's very easy to over push and lock them up. But yeah, it seems to work. Bit of fun.
Well, Simon, before we let you go, I do want to mention that in the dying hours of the vote in the chat for Driver of the Day, you've actually won Driver of the Day today. So congratulations on that as well.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
There you go, into the spotlight big time now.
Nah, that's cool. Nah.
Look at that. Into the record books. But no, congratulations. I mean, it was a stellar drive. You really gel well with this place. Obviously a race winner before, and then obviously another podium for yourself as well. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come now for the next few weeks, and seeing where you can end up on circuit this season, and where you can end up in the standings. I mean, I still hope to see you do a full season at some point, because I do believe that if you could get a full season in, you would challenge for the championship. But maybe I need to keep dreaming for a couple more seasons. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it just gets tougher and tougher every year, doesn't it? Yeah, stoked. Happy for Tim to get a win too. He drove really, really well. And stoked to get a second. So thanks to the league. Thanks to you guys for putting on this show. It's always good to sort of watch back on and have a look and just see what we did wrong and right. And thanks to Race Control as well for their efforts.
Very good. Thank you so much, Simon. Best of luck out at Portimao next week in round 4. We look forward to seeing how you go.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Well, we've had a late vote for Craig Friend, which has now actually tied it up, Brett. Do we add Craig to it as well? Do the old double? Because I think Craig had a very good drive, to be fair.
He did, yeah. That's your call on that one.
We'll double it up. We'll go two. We'll go two. So we'll say to Craig Friend as well that he was also one of the drivers of the day today. So we'll give it to both Craig Friend and Simon Heddersheed. Both had a very, very strong race tonight, and I think both deserved it. So it was a very, very well deserved performance from both of them.
You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal.
Well, we only give it away to 2 people once a season, so we might as well throw it out in round 3.
Right out there, yeah. No, well done. That was a brilliant drive by Craig.
Yeah, a fantastic drive from Craig. So congratulations to him. But next up, we have our race winner here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is his first race win in the V8 Veterans in what was an almighty effort on the road this evening. It is going the way of Tim Mulford here tonight as I drag him in. Tim, congratulations. First race win on the board here in the Vets. First race win for Phoenix Racing Team as well. Talk us through it, and talk us through the pain that Vela was in when he realised he didn't actually make it 2 from 2 here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Thanks. Unfortunately, I was the one that gave Steve the bad news, because he's like, it was only 1 CPS, wasn't it? I'm like, dude, it's always 2 unless specified. But in saying that, I did the same thing in my first season as well. So, yeah, he was like, oh, bugger.
Well, you learn from your mistakes, don't you?
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's all about learning. So, Steve will get better from it. He'll learn from it.
Well, Tim, I mean, talk us through some of the emotions that obviously would have gone through you on Thursday. I know you were immediately asking when is the Split 2 broadcast, so it was obviously a proud moment for yourself. How spine-tingling was it when you all of a sudden you had Alex Kiddis across the face of your car and you were thinking, oh God, no, please don't crash me out, or please don't get me a penalty?
It was kind of the strangest race. Like, normally, like, my qualies are crap, but I managed to get quali together. I didn't feel nervous. Even the first couple of laps with Simon behind me, I know what I've raced Simon heaps of times. I know what he's like. So I was just actually probably calmest I've ever been in a sim race ever. So yeah, it was really sort of a strange race. The fact I just sort of just went around my business, did what I had to do, and then yeah, that started lap 35. I knew he was going to go down the inside, and I thought I gave him enough room. And then once he sort of come across me, I'm like, oh, I knew that part was on him, but I still wasn't a bit too sure about the initial part. I don't think he had the overlap before the corner entry, but yeah, I was just like, even then, normally by then I probably would have lost it or slowed right down or spun the wheels up and spun it, but I just sort of, hit the brakes, he's gone, drive off and see what happens.
Do you think you might have did you find your flow state maybe, Tim? You got into the point of just complete focus and clarity. I mean, I know this is personally for me, this is a track I can find it quite easily, where you're kind of just going through the motions and you're cutting lap after lap, but you feel like you're aware of everything all at once. Did it feel like that for you on Thursday, or was it just a pure feeling of relaxation?
Yeah, I sort of got the feeling when I first loaded the setup up and did some practice, it didn't feel too bad, and I wasn't actually too far off my lap times from driving our Phoenix setups that we normally use in officials. So it was kind of strange. I think that if I'm comfortable with the setup and I'm comfortable under brakes, generally I go well. And once I get that, yeah, like you said, it was just a sort of weird feeling of just, oh, it's comfortable, let's just go. I knew what I had to do.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
That perfectly. It sounds to me like you found flow state, and what it's worked out as is a race win. And I think if you can find that in every race now for the rest of this season, you're going to be someone very, very hard to beat, I think.
Well, according to Hamish, you're going to win the championship now, Tim.
That's based on the statistics.
How does that?
Yeah, let's not get that far ahead.
I still think that Tim needs another race win to really solidify that belief. But based on the stats alone and the fact that I love it when curses remain the same and they remain true, I'd love it if Tim still wins the championship this season. Not just for the fact of seeing him win a championship, but my beautiful stat of round 3 race championship winner
stays intact.
Stays intact. I want to. We lost the round 1 winner never wins the championship after like 10 seasons. I want to build this out to like 15 seasons worth of round 3 winners win the championship. It's but no, I mean, Tim, a fantastic performance once again. Congratulations on this first race win. It's obviously it's a chip off your shoulder now, and now you can focus up, look ahead to the rest of the season. And first question, actually, are you going to make the rest of the season, Tim?
So far, so good, unless work pops up and does something strange. But no, so far, so good. I did have a bit of problems with that with Split 1 and Split 2, but with having to leave mid-race due to work or whatever. But yeah, so far, so good.
Well, that's very good then. Because oftentimes I was worried that it was like, oh, he's won round 3, but he's only going to race the next 3 races, and that's it. And it's like, well, there goes that stat. It's gone now. But there's hope for the stat. There's hope for your championship win. We'll see. You know, I would say take it race by race, see what happens at Portimao, and then what happens in the future as well. But, you know, we'll see if this is now a catalyst for you to gain the momentum and keep it rolling for the next few rounds and try and win yourself a championship. But congratulations, Tim. Let us know anyone you want to give a shout-out to. For myself and Brett and the rest of the league, congrats on your first race win in the league, and hopefully it's one of many more to come for you.
No, cheers, boys. Thanks, Ed. Of course, thanks to all you guys and the admin and race control and the V8 Vets community. Also, you know, Racecraft Simulations and Bin the Blade for Balin, M1 Used Cars, and then personal sponsors, Melbourne Hydrographics Depot, Hybrid Race Simulations, Aramex Heatherton, DHF Tyres, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and of course, Phoenix Driver Development.
Tim, do you know how long it's been since I've heard that rollout of sponsors?
That's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's. I haven't heard that since probably May, and that feels good to hear it again. Good job.
I just
Well
want to point out, Rushy's just said he's achieved
symbiosis.
symbiosis. Yeah, and I reckon, well, maybe he's achieved singularity.
Maybe he, as I said, found flow state. He found
Yeah,
his central chakra or something like that, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But no, congratulations.
Just keep finding it, Tim.
Just keep finding it. Yeah,
You're
keep
doing
finding
well.
it every week, and I'm sure
That's the
it'll pay
goal,
out
boys.
for you.
Try and stay top 10s, at least stay in top 10s and be consistent and go from there.
Consistency will win you a championship, Tim. So we'll see if
And-
you can pull that out.
And I think,
that's
look,
it.
Tim, don't put pressure on yourself. And I think that's exactly, I talked about Brad Doble in our team, and that's all he did, is just go, I just want top 10s, just do top 10s, that's all I need to do. And just keep the focus there and don't put too much pressure on yourself.
That's it. And like you guys said in the broadcast, it's all about patience. You don't need to make the move every corner or every lap. And sometime like tonight, it is just better. I knew Kiddis was fast, so I knew I just had to save some fuel, get a decent second pit stop, and then just conserve my tyres because I saw the pace he had coming out of the pit. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to conserve my tyres for a defense at the end.
Yep. Very, very smart.
Yep, worked out perfectly for you. One of the smartest drives we've probably seen in a fair while. But Tim, congratulations on your first race win. Best of luck next week out of Portimao. Thank you so much for coming and have a chat to us.
Cheers, boys. Look forward to seeing you next week.
No worries. Thank you. Tim Mulford, first-time race winner here in the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans. It's another first-time race winner here in the Vets. Last season we crowned a couple of them actually in Split 2, but what a season. We're looking at having 3 different race winners in the first 3 rounds. We're still 3 rounds away from matching what we did last season. We're 4 rounds away from beating it, so I'm not going to call that cart before the horse just yet, Brett, as some people may assume I would, but...
Or blackjack before the 21 shows up.
Yeah, we're not going to call that just yet, but what we are going to call is Autodromo Internacional Algarve next week as we head out to Portimao for round 4 of season 25, one of my favourite Grand Prix circuits in the world out of Portugal. It is going to be a fantastic race, so you guys do not want to miss it. 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time next Saturday evening will be on your screens on the V8 Veterans and Infinity Broadcasting YouTube channels. Be sure to hit the like button to subscribe, the bell icon too on both, so you're notified whenever we go racing on either channel. The Vets channel, you'll get notified for all the Vets content for Split 2, Split 3, Split 4, all the replay broadcasts, all the split reveals and stuff like that. Head over to Südspeed TV, click the like button to subscribe and the bell icon there, so you're notified Thursday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time when they go racing live with the Split 1 action. And over on Infinity Broadcasting, when you subscribe there and hit that bell icon, you get notified for the IRWC Rodnock Cup, the, of course, V8 Veterans Split 2 action, and the Monday night VRS Porsche Cup Series as well. A massive thank you to all of the series sponsors for continuing to support the series, including Racecraft Simulations, Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Player One SimGear, Nova Sim Sports, Südspeed Gloves and LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars for the Driver of the Day award. Tonight, it went the way of Craig Friend and Simon Heddersheed. Next week, it could go to you. For myself, Hamish Munro, though, and Brett Fisher alongside, thank you so much for joining us here out at Watkins Glen. We'll see you guys next week at Portimao. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Tires bleeding, virtual cubes, the motor's breathing, engine thunder from down under, piston fire, turn us under, put your name in the lights. Oh, with the Vets tonight, it's a 1,000 decibel supercar fight, burn this track to the ground.
The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. But very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In this sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Racekraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racekraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racekraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.